Hey, are you responsible for blowing up more stuff than a Michael Bay film? Have you spent years mastering how to spin this newfangled and highly explosive weaponry for an exceedingly dangerous but undeniably impressive flex?
12 shots.
Well, congratulations! You might be an artillerist. But what is an artillerist? Well, fill a duffel bag with enough ammo to level a small village, wonder why everyone's still playing with swords when you've graduated to boomsticks, and make sure you file for explosion insurance, cause we just brought an RPG to our RPG. What is it about watching something be completely destroyed in a massive eruption of fire and force that's weirdly fun to watch? Maybe it's the smell of something burning or the thrill of your ears ringing, but it's undeniable that this is just sick. So why not make a subclass dedicated to doing that to bad guys? Now we're talking. Yeah, sure, there's plenty of classes out there that specialize in fire damage, but none of them seem to be packing this level of magical firepower. But I hear you saying already, Yimba, my DM doesn't allow artificers in their game, they don't fit the world. And to that, I'd say just tell them,
Gator needs a scat, you punk-ass bitch!
But seriously, this is a game all about ancient magical dragons, monks who can literally end your life with a single punch, and half spider, half horse abominations that will forever haunt my f***ing nightmares. So if your DM can't imagine the concept of gunpowder, they can come talk to me. But really, artificers are an incredibly unique class in D&D, and their subclasses do a pretty good job of filling out various roles in the party. You have the all-arounder / support subclass, the battle tank / infiltrator, and of course, the glass cannon, emphasis on the cannon. So to start us off, we get some magical tinkering. Magical tinkering lets you take little mundane items and make them into mundane items that do stuff. Turn a rock into a stink bomb and place it into some guy's pocket, or record a message into a door handle that tells people to leave you alone. Or, my favorite, enchant the mirror of your least favorite roommate's bathroom to show an illusion of the girl from The Ring, and then listen from down the hall as they evacuate their bowels. But we also get spellcasting. Turns out focusing your mathematical mind into understanding the universal laws of physics also serves as the building blocks of some incredible spellcraft, which explains string theory, but also Einstein's hair. This allows us to cast artificer spells like Identify or Grease as long as we have a tool ready in our hand. So make sure you're always carrying your monkey wrench when heading into a fight, that way you can cast Fairy Fire and then smack them right in the ball peen. Finally, at first level we get proficiency in firearms.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Just be careful. And if your DM doesn't allow firearms, call him a chode. Don't do that, that's mean. But if there is any class that should know how a gun works, it's the Artificer. So if you combine this with your proficiency in smithing tools and ability to craft items, pretty soon your Artificer will be swimming in more shotguns than a Mississippi wedding. Second level lets us infuse items, and this is a tough one because there are just so many good choices to choose from. I won't touch on these as much as I have in the past because I think your choices are going to depend more on your particular party makeup instead of how to fill out an armor set or buff your battle bot. So instead, I'll just touch on my favorites here as I think they're probably universally good for you. So make sure to pick up Spell Raw Tattoos to ink yourself and your friends with a first level spell of your choice, or a Bag of Holding for a portable pocket dimension that definitely isn't going to destroy everything around it when coming in contact with another pocket dimension, or way later on, pick up some Winged Boots to fly out of danger after leveling a building. You know, super cool, not broken stuff like that. But it's third level where we finally get to that good. But first we gotta pick up right tool for the job. This lets you magically create the exact tool you need over the course of an hour, letting you make anything from thieves' tools to brewer supplies, and we also get an extra proficiency with woodcarver's tools to boot, which is gonna come in very handy here in a minute. But, so here we get access to our Eldritch Cannon! Our Eldritch Cannon is a magical turret we can mount onto any location as an action and lasts for an hour. This turret can either be about 3 feet tall or handheld, meaning you can dual wield it with your boomstick for all that extra damage. But it doesn't end there. You can also choose whether or not your turret has legs and what type of turret it is, from a 2d8 flamethrower to a 2d8 force ballista that pushes enemies away, or a 1d8 plus intelligence modifier aura emitter that grants temporary hit points. You can choose which type, what it looks like, and what size when you create the turret, and you can activate its effect every turn as a bonus action. On top of that, your turret can move 15 feet at a time as a part of that bonus action and climb walls or hang from the ceiling. You only get one a day and one at a time, so choose wisely, but the possible combos with this thing are endless. And because you aren't using a spell, you can cast on your action and activate the turret on your bonus action to maximize that sweet damage. Your turret has an AC of 18 and hit points equal to 5 times your Artificer level and can be repaired with the Mending cantrip. So if it takes a nasty hit, you can go ahead and repair it before going into the next fight. Whew! Have I missed anything? Oh yeah, as if that wasn't enough, we also get the spell Shield and Thunderwave to protect ourselves from attacks or knock back creatures that fail to save in a gigantic kaboom.
Yes, Rico. Kaboom.
But moving up to 5th level is where we finally get to put those woodcarver's tools to good use, by turning an ordinary stick into a boomstick with Arcane Firearm. Now you can turn any wand, staff, or rod into essentially a magical hand cannon that can be used as a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells, and adds an additional d8 of damage to any damaging spell cast through it. So everything from Firebolt to Catapult gets a little extra juice. That would be great on its own, but add on your new Artillerist spells like Scorching Ray and Shatter, as well as the Artificer Infusion Enhanced Arcane Focus for a +1 to attack rolls and the ability to ignore half cover on spell attacks, and you're well on your way to being a damage-dealing fiend, dropping bombs and lasers on unsuspecting bad guys and walking off the explosions like a champ. Making your way up to 6th level, we get Tool Expertise to double your proficiency bonus for any check you make with a tool you're proficient in, and at 7th level we get Flash of Genius to add your intelligence modifier to any saving throw made by you or an ally within 30 feet by spending your reaction. Because as much fun as it is to be smart, it's way more fun to make sure everybody knows it. Skipping up to 9th level, we get a buff to our free-range boom tube with Explosive Cannon. Our cannon not only does an extra d8 in either flamethrower or force ballista mode, but can also self-destruct if you use your action to tell it to do so. This causes all creatures within 20 feet of it to take 3d8 force damage on a failed dex save, but the real kicker is the tinnitus you get if you actually survive that blast. Don't worry about the poor turret though. Remember, if you already spent your once a day, you can dump a spell slot to bring it back on your next turn. But if you'd rather protect yourself and your turret, you can always use your new Artillerist spell, Wind Wall, to push back and cause damage to any creatures caught in it, and automatically deflect all ranged attacks from bows or crossbows that have to pass through the wall. The best part is that because your ballista is a magical spell attack, it passes through just fine, letting you bunker down behind and shoot from afar. But isn't the saying the best defense is a good offense? Well, we're ready to go on the offensive with everyone's favorite Fireball. Now you're really living up to your Pyro persona and just blasting your way through enemies with a nasty 8d6 plus an additional d8 from your Arcane Focus. Brutal. 10 levels in Artificer means we become Magic Item Adept, allowing our Artillerist to attune up to 4 magic items at once, but also craft items of common or uncommon rarity for a quarter of the time and half the gold, forcing your DM to dig through various resources to find out whether the Armor of Fungal Spores, Bottled Breath, Slippers of Spider Climbing, or Ring of Enhanced Sniffing are real 5e items or just something you made up. And at 11th level we get spell storing items to cram a 1st or 2nd level Artificer spell into an item and allow anyone holding it to produce the effect using your spell stats. So you can make practical stuff like a helmet of air bubble or sunglasses of dark vision, or far more entertaining things like blindfold of see invisibility or leg weights of levitate to take the piss out of an annoying party member. At 13th level we get 2 new spells with Wall of Fire and Ice Storm to trap enemies in a blazing inferno and then rain icy death from above. And at 14th level we become a Magic Item Savant to attune to 5 magic items at once and ignore all class, race, and spell level requirements to wield such an item. So finally our Artificer can attune to a Dwarven Thrower even though we're a silly old human. Just have to figure out how to attach my gun to the top of it without causing an international incident with all of Dwarven kind. But finally, it's 15th level where our Eldritch Cannon gets its last buff with Fortified Position. Now, not only does your cannon provide a magical field of protection to give every ally within 10 feet of it half cover for a +2 to AC, you also get a second turret you can summon with the same action as the first. Both turrets can fire using the same bonus action, but do not have to be the same type. They can still move independently as well, or you can wear them both as tiny attachments and become a one-man cannon, using your action and bonus action to just completely unload on some poor unsuspecting bad guy, truly not expecting to be let loose upon by that many d8s. Holy moly, kids! Well, finally wrapping things up, we get our last 2 Artificer spells with Cone of Cold and Wall of Force for a truly stellar offensive and defensive power move, Magic Item Master at 18th level to attune up to 6 magic items at once and walk into every fight with more accessories than Flavor Flav, and finally at 20th level we gain the the Soul of Artifice for a +1 to all of our saving throws per magic item we're attuned to, making that a +6 provided we filled all of our attunement slots. And if you're reduced to 0 hit points, you can spend a reaction to end an infusion to drop to 1 point instead, making you pretty much unkillable. Absolutely insane. So, is the Artillerist an absolute blast? Holy shit, dude. For only having 1 attack per round, this guy packs more punch in 1 turn than just about every other subclass we've done so far, and I haven't even begun to calculate all the possible buffs you may be able to gain from random items you make or find along your journey. I mean, by level 17, if we've got both our turrets active and drop a 5th level fireball, that's 10d6 plus 1d8 plus an additional 6d8 from the cannons. That's like an average of 50 to 60 damage a round from 120 feet away. Pack it in, boys, you're just outgunned. Not to mention your enhanced arcane focus bumps up to a +2 by level 10, so your wand gun is outpacing just about any other weapon your artillerist may be able to use in terms of utility, and has the added benefit of ignoring that pesky half cover. Truly, this is the gunner class of D&D, rivaled only by the gunslinger in terms of range and damage. And while I personally would never ban artificers from the table for lore reasons, if 2 players came to me wanting to play an armorer and an artillerist, we may have to have a conversation about power scaling. But if you constantly smell like gunpowder with just a tinge of iron shavings, need friends to shout whatever they're saying since you're almost deaf from proximity to high explosives, and have completely annoyed the party by constantly playing Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture on repeat, guess what? You might be an artillerist. Hey guys, once again, thanks for watching. This was a really fun video to make, so I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to leave a like or comment down below. It helps the algorithm and stuff, I'm told, but who knows, YouTube is weird. But if you want even more cool stuff from me, make sure to head on over to our channel Discord. The link for that is in the description. We are having such a good time over there sharing D&D stories, chatting about our favorite characters, and helping people find games. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, come in and join the fun. Thanks again as always, and I'll see you all very soon.